Judge Fitzwater, you live in Landview. You know this woman. We all know this woman. But I've seen pictures of Mrs. Carpenter when she was little, when she was just little Victoria Lord, taken before her mother died. And she was a beautiful child. She was full of energy and enthusiasm, and she was blessed with intelligence and a lively imagination, safe in her family's home, happy with a mother and a father who she truly believed loved each other. Until one day when she overheard them having a brutal fight. And she saw them at the top of the stairs shouting at each other, arguing over her. Imagine the horror of seeing your mother lose her footing and fall down an entire flight of stairs. A little while later, her mother died of those injuries, turning Victoria's world completely upside down. She felt guilty. She was ashamed. She felt she was the cause of her mother's death. Fortunately, there was one person left in the world that she did trust, and that was her beloved father, Victor. And when she turned to him for understanding and love, her father, the anchor of her world, the all-powerful, the all-knowing, drew his 7-year-old child into his bed, and calling her princess, he defiled the most profound trust, and he raped her. Not once, but again, and again, and again, and again, and not just when she was 7, but for years, and years, and years, for more than a decade. How can anyone possibly endure that kind of betrayal from the one person in the world they thought they trusted? But she did endure it. She endured it by fragmenting, by allowing other personalities to emerge, by letting them take the abuse for her, by letting them shelter her from ever knowing about the monstrous injury inflicted on her by her father. And in that way, Victoria Lord not only survived it, she triumphed. Despite the burden, Mrs. Carpenter has a list of accomplishments in her life that would make anyone proud. Annual charity awards given by the community, journalism awards from all over the world, served a term as mayor of this town, vestry board leader of the St. James Church.
Counselor, this court has no need to be convinced of Mrs. Carpenter's contributions and achievements. This hearing is not whether she ought to go free, but rather whether it is safe for her to be released.
Yes, Your Honor, and you are absolutely right. But that's why it is terribly important for this court to understand that the creation of these altars was a desperate and necessary act of protection. They were as important as police in a riot, as an army in a war. They were all she had. She certainly didn't have her father now, did she? And sexual molestation was not Victor Lord's only unforgivable act against his daughter. He took her firstborn daughter, Megan, away from her. He seduced Irene Manning, who was Vicky's college roommate when she was just a teenager, and fathered 2 illegitimate children with her. And in this, as they say, are just the highlights. Years later, Victoria managed to build a life for herself with a loving husband and children and work that she loved. Years later, when Victor Lord was old and lay dying in a hospital bed, he reached out to Vicky, calling for his princess to come to him. But he didn't get his princess. What he got was a very angry altar named Tori, who was ready to face the truth head on. She was going to protect Vicky by solving the problem once and for all. She smothered him. Tori smothered Victor Lord and then disappeared for almost 2 decades. The only reason why she came back was because once again she had to deal with the truth head on. She exposed to Vicky what her father had done to her because it was time and Vicky was strong enough. And Tori, as a part of Vicky, understood that. Is Vicky dangerous? Tori did try to burn down the Banner building. Tori did burn down the Lord Estate land fair. She waited until she thought it was empty, and then she set it on fire. And while land fair burned, Jessica, Vicky's daughter, was upstairs. She'd come back to get something on her way to a party. Tori heard Jessica's cries for help, but it was Vicky who broke free from Tori and saved her daughter. And that was even before therapy, even before Vicky had control, before Vicky even knew there were altars. She rose up to save her child. And I submit to this court that the exact same thing would happen in any situation where the altars were going to harm someone. Vicky would not allow it. She didn't allow it. Tori, as Vicky testified, is asleep. And she will remain asleep because all the secrets are out. The other altars are subservient to Vicky, the dominant personality, who grows stronger every day. Does Vicky need therapy? Of course. Will this therapy last for a long time? Undoubtedly. Is she committed to getting that therapy? 100%. Is Vicky dangerous? No. Not to a single living soul, including herself. Your Honor, Mrs. Carpenter has been robbed of her childhood. She's been robbed of her youth. Is it really in the interest of justice, in the interest of this community, to rob her of her future, too? Please don't take her away from her friends, who truly cherish her. Don't take her from her family, her children who love her and need her still. Don't make Victor Lord's grandchildren suffer for what he did to a 7-year-old little girl.
As a little girl, whenever I got sick, my mom always brought me a bowl of chicken soup. Today, when my daughter gets sick, I can give her something more nutritious, Pediasure.
Ask your pediatrician. Great-tasting Pediasure provides more complete, balanced nutrition than old-fashioned home remedies like chicken soup, milkshakes, or gelatin.
I hate it when she gets sick. At least I can be sure she's getting the nutrition she needs with Pediasure.
I tried a no-name long-distance company because the savings sounded simple, right? Wrong. Bill made me dizzy. And savings? Nothing but restrictions. My work's enough to deal with. Things at home gotta be simple. So I got AT&T True Reach Savings. It's the only way I save 25% on every type of call on my AT&T phone bill, no matter who I call in the U.S.
AT&T True Reach Savings. Save 25% when you spend just $25 a month. AT&T True Reach Savings. That's your true choice. AT&T.
Hey, you there.
Yes?
What's your idea of a little reward?
Paris, champagne, and...
Strawberries?
I can eat strawberries in Paris.
Introducing Sweet Rewards. Strawberry snack bars, lusciously berry inside.
Ooh, keep talking.
Buttery rich tasting outside. You'd never guess they were fat-free.
Fat-free, so that's why they call them Sweet Rewards.
Now all the best of Betty Crocker's in a fat-free strawberry bar. New Sweet Rewards. Fat-free just got a whole lot more rewarding.
Betty, for these, you should get a trip to France.
Aiming for no cavities? You can reach that goal with proper oral care and Colgate cavity protection.
No cavities with Colgate.
My son Shaq is a big guy, and when he gets a cold, he gets a big cold. When he was little, well, he never really was little. Our doctor recommended Robitussin for his big cough. Now that he's all grown up, Robitussin makes a cold formula, too. These little liquid gels can take care of 7 feet, 300 pounds of stuffiness, congestion, and coughs. Now, if they only had a formula for free throws.
Robitussin cold formulas, recommended by Dr. Mom O'Neill.
Look, I just invented something amazing. New 2000 flushes, blue plus bleach. Powerful blue detergent plus stain-fighting chlorine bleach. 2 cleans in 1 for up to 4 months. New 2000 flushes, blue plus bleach. 2 cleans in 1.